Our next topic is subtraction of decimals. We already learned how we can add the decimals. The same way, the next topic is subtraction of decimals. So it is similar to the subtraction of whole numbers. So we have to look at the decimal part and as well as the whole number parts. Now, example. 27.85 minus 16.81. So first you have to write 27.85. 27.85. Write down the first decimal number. So under the first decimal number, write down the second decimal number, so that the decimal point of the second one lies directly below the decimal point of the first one. So 16.81. 16 is in the whole number part, then put the decimal point, then 81. Now look at that, the decimal point of the second decimal number lies directly below the decimal point of the first one. Now we have to do the subtraction. So here also we have to start from the, you have to look at the decimal place and you have to start from the 100th place. Then 5 minus 1, 5 minus 1 is 4. 8 minus 8, 0. Next comes the decimal point. Put the decimal point. 7 minus 6, 1. 2 minus 1, 1. So the answer is 11.04. Then second one. Subtract 1.74 from 3.58. So what you have to subtract? 1.74 from where? 3.58. So first you have to write 3.58 minus 1.74. 3.58 minus 1.74. Now you have to look at that when we do the addition, we have to check that whether the given decimals are like decimals. So in the case of subtraction also we have to check it. Here look at that, the first question, count the number of decimal places, 1, 2, 2 decimal places. Second one also we have a 2 decimal places. So we can say that they are like decimals. Now the second question, subtract 1.74 from 3.58. From 3.58. So you have to write 3.58 first. So from 3.58 you have to subtract 1.74. Therefore 3.58 minus 1.74, you have to check it whether they are like decimals. Count the number of decimal places, 1, 2, 2 decimal places. 1.74 also has 2 decimal places. So what we can say? They are like decimals. Now we can start the subtraction. 3.58. Write down the first decimal number. Then under the first decimal number, you have to write down the second decimal number, so that the decimal point of the second number lies directly below the decimal point of the first one. Then 1 is in the whole number part, so write under the whole number part 1.74. Now we have to subtract. 8 minus 4. What is 8 minus 4? 8 minus 4 is 4. 5 minus 7 not possible, so we have to borrow from 3. So this 3 will become 2 and 5 will become 15. Then 15 minus 7. What is 15 minus 7? 8. Then the next decimal point comes, put the decimal point. Then 2 minus 1, 1. So the answer is 1.84. Now we can select the problems from the exercise. Exercise 8.6, question number 1, subtract. Rupees 18.25 from 20.75. From 20.75. From 20.75 you have to subtract 18.25. So how we can write? Rupees 20.75 minus rupees 18.25. So after this from what is given, you have to write first. So 20.75 minus 18.25. Now look at the decimal places. 2 decimal places. Here also we have 2 decimal places. So what we can say? They are like decimals. Now therefore 20.75 minus 18.25. Do the subtraction. 5 minus 5, 0. 7 minus 2, 5. Next decimal point comes, put the decimal point. Then 0 minus 8, not possible. So we have to borrow from this 2. 2 will become 1. So here it will become 10. So 10 minus 8, 2. 1 minus 1, 0. So what is the answer? 2.50. So we can say that the answer is 2.50. No need to write down this 0 when we write down the answer. So we can write down the answer as 2.50. Next question. 202.54 from 250. So from 202.54 meters from 250 meters. So from 250 meters you have to subtract 202.54. So how we can write 250 meters minus 202.54 meters. Now look at the decimal places. 250 meters, 250 is a whole number. So we have to express in this 250 in terms of a decimal number. We have to express it as a decimal number, 250. Now count the number of decimal places of the second decimal number, 202.54. How many decimal places? 2 decimal places. So how we can write 250? We can write it as 250 point. We need 2 decimal places. So we can put 2 extra zeros. So we can say that it is 250.00 minus 202.54. Now we will write the first decimal number, 250.00 minus 202.54. Then it is not possible, 0 not possible from okay. So we have to borrow from 5. So 5 will become 4. So this one will become 10. So from 10 we have to borrow 1. So this one 10 will become 9. Here it is 10. Then again from 10 we have to borrow 1. Therefore 10 will become 9 and here it will become 10. Now 10 minus 4, 6. 9 minus 5, 4. Next decimal point comes, put the decimal point. 9 minus 2, 7. 4 minus 0, 4. 2 minus 2, 0. So what is the answer? 47.46. So we can say 47.46. It is given in meters. So the answer is 47.46 meters. Now next question. Rupees 5.36 from rupees 8.40. Rupees 5.36 from rupees 8.40. So which one we have to write first? Rupees 8.40. So rupees 8.40 minus rupees 5.36. Then 8.40 minus 5.36. We have to subtract. So 0 minus 6 not possible. So we have to borrow from. So 4 will become 3. Will become 10. 10 minus 6, 4. 3 minus 3, 0. Next decimal point, put the decimal point. 8 minus 5, 3. So the answer is rupees 3.04. Rupees 3.04. Next, 0.314 kilogram from 2.107 kilogram. So which is equal to, we can write as 2.107 kilogram minus 0.314 kilogram. Then 2.107, write down the first decimal number. Under that you have to write down the second decimal number. Whole number part is 0, write under 2, 0.314. Now we have to start from which place onwards? From 1000th place onwards. So 7 minus 4, 3. 0 minus 1 not possible. So we have to borrow from 2, it will become 1. So 1 will become 11. From 11 we have to borrow. So it will become 10 and this one will come. Then 10 minus 1, 9, 10 minus 3, 7, 1 minus 0, 1. So the answer is 1.793 kilogram. Second question, find the value of 9.756 minus 6.28. Count the number of decimal places, 1, 2, 3. So 9.756 has 2 decimal places. 6.28, how many decimal places? Only 2 decimal places. Here we have 3 decimal places. So they are not like decimals. So first of all we have to make them as like decimals. So which is equal to 9.756 minus 6.280. So we can put an extra 0 at the end. So 6.280. So we have 3 decimal places. Here also we have 3 decimal places. Now 9.756 minus 6.280. 6 minus 0, 6. From not possible, so we have to borrow from a 7. So 6, it will become 15. Then 15 minus 8, 7. 6 minus 2, 4. 9 minus 6, 3. So the answer is 3.476. 3.476. Next question. 21.05 minus 15.27. Count the number of decimal places, 2 decimal places. Here also we have 2 decimal places. So both of them are, we can say that they are like decimals. Now write down the first one, 21.05 minus 15.27. 5 minus 7 not possible, but also not. So we have to borrow from 2, it will become 1. So this one will become 11. From 11 you have to borrow. So 10. Then from 10 you have to borrow. 10 will become 9. It will become 15. Then 15 minus 7. 8. 9 minus 2. 7. Then decimal point comes, put the decimal point. 10 minus 5, 5. 1 minus 1, 0. So the answer is 5.78. 5.78. So no need to put the 0 in front of a number. A 0 comes, it has no value. Therefore, no need to write this 0 in the whole number part. We can write the answer as 5.78. So homework, exercise 8.6, question number 1 D and question number 2 C and D. So that's all for today's class. Thank you.